that means welcome to the Europeans versus AGO, the Polish side that are going to fight right now in the best-of-3 series, starting on Cobblestone. We're first going to see who's going to stab who's the best, but I am not thankfully alone. I'm the one who has the worst last name of both of us, and I'm with Mr. Hawkins. Alex, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you, Zesh. We are here for Epsilon versus AGO, as you so kindly pointed out. Should be an exciting semi-final, and remember, we're into the semi-finals already here. We're close to deciding that spot for Katowice.
So, the first thing at all I need to ask, I've done my research, and I'm quite confused when I've taken a look at Epsilon. But not from the stats, they're doing great. But there's a guy called Surreal, and as you're from the UK, I want to know if Kia is a usual first name.
I don't think he is a usual first name. I think he's part Vietnamese, if I'm right. It's some Asian country. I don't remember exactly which. Don't hate me, people in chat. But yeah, it's
quite funny because his full name is Kia Man.
I know, it's a great name.
It is. I know it sounds harsh, but it is kind of funny. But what you gotta say about him, he's doing a quite good job. He's pretty much on the bottom end regarding the rating, still doing quite well. 1.08 he has. This guy actually has very international performance because he played at the ESL Pro League with Complexity last year. So he got experience, internationally speaking. But before we go, the international experience regarding that is definitely on the favor of AGO. And they're starting there over on the T side with Frilla and the rest going full armor, which means all the shots got to be point blank on.
Yeah, and I thought they might go for a quick play, and indeed they have. Down drop into connector. Epsilon have 4 players stuck towards B here, and Snatchy is kind of cutting them off. So this could get a little awkward for Epsilon now. Like I said, that kills come in, but PHR gets 2 kills very, very quickly. Smiga is still the only player towards A, but AGO trying to make their way towards the B site. It goes back to a 3-on-3, and this is a little bit awkward now.
Oh, nice. That's the way you can start off attacking PHR. The B side is not cleared out yet. Tao starts with 1, Cosmin to get. As he's down to 88, he rotates back behind the side where he hits Ruby and another one. The defense perfectly done by the Romanian. 3-0 it is, at least stats-wise for him. And there it starts off quite well. The pistol round successful. And there comes in the buy with an M4, a FAMAS, an MP9, and now Zach. What are you doing? There we go, the UMP as well.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, I think Cosmin is actually the sort of really important player for Epsilon, because Smuya is pretty consistent in showing up big, but I think if you want this team to do well, Cosmin needs to be that second star, and at the start of Epsilon he was struggling a little bit, but he's really started to find his form now, and I think if he continues to show up, this Epsilon team, especially online, can be very dangerous, and I mean, they've proven that so far.
That's a good thing you mentioned, because that online factor might be a thing for Epsilon. Those guys are comparatively young and maybe not as experienced as AGO. I mean, they recently participated in the Global Challenge of ESCA. They've won that. They've beaten Virtus Pro on the way to it. They've beaten Big. They've beaten Space Soldiers. Big names. Extremely valuable victories they've got experience-wise. They're right now down by a single round, but now the Pistols are making the move onto the B side, where now Surreal needs to hit the first shot. Tao's already down. The bomb falls. Snatch is going to go down with that MP9, but in the end, at least a single frag coming in from Frolin, but the control is definitely in favor of Epsilon. Or maybe not.
Couple of kills come back. AGO's still very low, but the bomb will go down. That's an interesting plant spot from Grubby as well. It's going to allow PHR to see it quite easily, but Smuya going in first.
No.
Oh. Yeah, that's a quick pre-fire. They do get the kills. Yeah, not quite going AGO's way, but they'll be pretty happy with that round. They get the bomb plant, they do some damage. I guess the one positive for Epsilon is they only had the 1 M4 anyway, so they don't really lose 2 valuable weapons, just a couple of umps dropped, and they should still be good to take this round fairly easily. AGO not going to go for a massive investment.
Yeah, logically they're not, and as you have to say, though, the city's economy, building up a city economy is pretty much one of the hardest tasks at all in the economic system of Counter-Strike. As they've taken down a good bunch of players around before, it hurts them a bit, because when we see it is Robin, Zach, and Surreal not really building up their wall, it doesn't matter for that round, as only the few tiny pistols are coming in for AGO. We're seeing no one on the armor, so that should be all so well secured for Epsilon. At that point, to the left, Zach is standing, and you got 30 bullets and the Howl to just howl it all onto them. As though Tao. I like that. He's actually very good with that boost. But in the end, it probably won't work out any further. Groovy gets one of Smuya. I have to take back what I'm saying the entire time. What?
Oh, Tao gets another headshot. This is going Ago's way here. The Poles get their way onto the A site. How on earth has this happened? Cosmine and Surreal are probably going to be wondering that as well. Their two M4s have to try and retake in a 2 versus 4, and you can already see Surreal's going to fall back.
No.
They're going to call it off. I don't know how that happened. That was just a couple of quick kills, and boom, the round was won.
That was extremely confusing, because it looked all so strong. That one boost that got Surreal down to 46 made him extremely vulnerable, as an only one body shot from the Deagle got him. Then the point blank shots were on the targets, and in the end, Ego, we're taking this home. And not only that, they're bringing a few guns as well, as Cosmine as well as Surreal not taking any aggressive angles to hit players while rotating away from the A site. And there's the first for Ego, which is quite surprising.
Yeah, Epsilon will still at least have a decent buy with those 2 rifles saved, but you can already see Robin falls down to a CZ. The utility isn't great, but they do have 2 defuse kits at least. So it's still a winnable round for Epsilon, but of course they don't have any money in the bank now. So as you were kind of talking about earlier, building up that CT economy is already difficult. And well, losing rounds like that certainly doesn't help with that money. Is Smooya getting aggressive? He's going to be spotted out. He does go aggressive very, very often out towards A, and Ego seems very prepared for that there.
There comes the aggression towards the site. Sack might be the only line of defense that can hold it off. He's being spotted, finds Furlman jumping around the corner. And there's a perfect movement as he goes over long. Gets a good, safe position. As Sack holds himself towards long. Snatchy comes in with that AWP now, needs to hit his shot. Does do so, but gets sting. Down to 9 HP. He should still be able to do a little bit of work. Ruby finds the rotating Cosmine, and a single Robin is left. From above, the death comes.
That's certainly one thing that Ego, if they have done their homework, might be able to exploit. I think Smooya does go aggressive maybe a little bit too much. Like, in most rounds, it seems like he will play very aggressive, trying to get that opening pick. And I think if he tries for that too often, then Ego might be able to punish that. As you saw in that round, I mean, Smooya just went straight through the smoke, hoping that he had a good read. Didn't work out that time around, and that forces Epsilon back to pistols, as that nade lands straight in Robin's face early on.
I really don't like him playing the Zeus. I hate this gun so much. Especially because it has a decreased range. It feels like it's not actually that powerful as it used to be once. If you can even say this gun was powerful, but he probably didn't even put it in use, as long-range duels will not be successful with that kind of equipment. Tao has to take a look at right. Chicken Coop, they're still a player. Cosme not hitting his BS shots. And there goes Robin. There he has it. Come on, do it to the left. He knows where the shots are coming from. Please use that. Oh, disappointment. A Swedish disappointment.
Ooh. Nice little kill from PHR to close the round. Very convincing there from Ego again. I mean, they were only up against pistols, but they get to save all their guns. And that means their economy is already really strong. Just off of those 3-round wins, they have around $7,000, $8,000 in the bank each. So Epsilon, they're going to have to do a lot of work to break that economy. And you can see again, Epsilon's buy, it's not exactly perfect. They still haven't been able to get that AWP before Smooya. That could be an issue for Epsilon at the early stages here if they can't win a couple of these rounds in a row.
Yeah, and the thing is, they are feeling very confident on this map because they've recently beaten teams like Sprout, QBF, Mouse Sports, and Na'Vi, all with comparatively tight score lines. Twice it was 16-14. Doesn't show really dominance on this map, but still competence to shut down your opponent. And now Ego, highly interested in more of a slow-paced play against a team that has now gotten themselves the rifle ×4. Was a single UMP onto Robin. Perfect position for him, of course, as he's playing somewhere towards Dropper, taking a look towards long. But they might get caught off guard in a moment if the players are interested in Dropper. It seems like PHR and the rest of the team are extremely slow with it, as the 60-second mark has now been reached. The execution has to be done.
Yeah, it should come in shortly here. However, Ego actually don't have too many of their nades left. PHR are going to go in first with this AK. He spots Robin up close. There comes the spray down. The first kill coming in. That's going to prompt the push. And Snatchy also gets a fairly easy frag. Furlan up close. The Mach 10 just running and gunning. And that is the B site completely overwhelmed. And that's Ago proving you don't necessarily need the full utility to take the site. Just that one Molotov there got them a free kill on towards the player in that close position. And boom, they just get it done.
Yeah, it was really well executed in this situation. Zach with $0. Now holds himself back. Do you know, actually, that's a story I told last time. Do you know Rapunzel? Do you know that story? Have you ever heard of that?
Wait, what story? You mean the actual, like, fairy tale?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Do you call this tower in the UK Rapunzel?
I've definitely heard it be called that. I think I was talking with Dean about this. I was asking what he called it. I think he said he just called it tower, but I think I normally call it Rapunzel.
Yeah, the Germans say Rapunzel to it. I was just considering it because many people probably don't even know the story about it, but it's a good one. Imagine having such long hair that you could climb up.
I'm not at that point yet. I mean, maybe I need a haircut, but
me too.
It's not that bad.
Definitely. 10 meters would be long, but right now it's about also cutting off AGO on the side of Epsilon. As Zach is the only one here with that M4A4. He's interested in taking that long control, as he has also the kit. Keeps himself comparatively aggressive for that. Instead of, when you have a kit, hold yourself back on the site where he could do something, but as he's the only player on the A site, or around the A site, more likely, logically, his M4 is so extremely important.
Yeah, we can quickly talk about how both these teams got to this point, I guess, in this bit of downtime. Ago, I mean, if they get to Katowice, they will have been very, very lucky, because they didn't even finish first in their group. They're not even supposed to be here, but Spirit pulled out, I think, because they were making a roster move. So I think because they dropped Starix, right? So they pulled out. That allowed Ago to go through. They finished in second, and, well, now they've got a chance to make it to Katowice. And they're currently looking good in this semi-final. Having said that, Zach got the first kill out towards A long there. He's kind of sandwiched in now, though. Grubby and Furlan both have him from either side. Cosme is also trying to take fights. This is very, very awkward. This is good for Grubby. Zach, will be caught in the back. Grubby finds that kill. And, well, there we go. A flurry of frags for Ago, and they will close this round.
Yeah, and as we're seeing it, Smooya, as he stands on site, now has to perform a miracle. He doesn't even do that. Just a few body shots. He gets to the Furlan. 4 points of health. Not really a great outcome. Snatchy through the wall. Finishes off the Butterfield. And as we're seeing, the 5-2 looks quite good so far for the side of AGO. If we have to put it in consideration, they were down 0-2. From then on, full throttle against the side of Epsilon, where they are now at the point where they can afford the AWP, or they can afford all the utility. The classic 5-round mark, where you have reached the maximum of the losing bonus. Smooya and his team are definitely going to put that in use.
Yeah, on the meantime, though, if you look at Ago's economy, they all are into 5 digits, all with $10,000 or more. So they're loving life right now. They're certainly not going to be down to eco anytime soon. Snatchy, of course, will have the AWP as you would expect. He's currently out towards B flat, seeing if he can work a pick, and Smooya is also there for the CT side. So that AWP battle could be extremely important early into the round. Smooya now goes aggressive and gets the first kill. Surreal also up close. It's the UK duo to open up the round for Epsilon.
Yeah, 60 seconds that are left back on the clock. They got enough time to put it in the right way still. Mio goes back towards Chicken. Tao highly interested. Going for Dropper, which could be extremely risky. While on the other side of the map, Groovy making his way towards A. You have heard that there was a kind of detail, a really tight one. Robin has to put in consideration, though, because they shot while they dropped. The sound not heard. Robin gets taken down, and this was a perfect boost. Or likely a perfect jump over the back of PHR, finding that player from Sweden. While Cosmin gets Groovy, instant refrag from PHR. Saxon's perfectly in the time is ticking low. Tao finds him back to a 2v2 with Surreal as well as an AWP on Smooya. Now cleaning up the shattered glass all over the site. And the problem is there's no more smoke to get it through connector.
I was going to say, Tao needs to get to the site quickly here. Finally, he should do so with the flashes coming in.
Well, PHR knows.
PHR, yeah, in position. Easy spray down. That bomb's going to go down on the site, but Surreal is coming from A long. That might catch them off guard, depending on the timing here.
Now it's about just playing it all together and smart. You don't want to force out 1 versus 1s against a player who has 100 HP while you're yourself down to around the half. And there we have it. PHR falling. Tao needs no aggression at that point of time. When he plays it smart, goes around the truck, doesn't want to be seen by the British player, and probably that's not going to be the case. He doesn't even have the kit, so you gotta pull through once in time. There comes the fake, and there he finds him. Smartly played by Ego. And that secures him as they were down in the situation. I think it was a 3 versus 5. And then in the end, it is still going in their favor. Beautifully done by the Poles.
Yeah, it was both Surreal and Smooya who got those first 2 kills out towards B long, but Ego kept it going. They went down drop to get that first kill, and then they managed to split that A site after they got the connector control. Being able to attack that from 2 angles makes a big difference, and especially with Cosmine's boosted position there. That really meant that he was fully exposed from so many angles. So while Epsilon are down to just a buy with pistols, going to quickly mention the knife giveaway we currently have running here at eFrag. You could win a flip knife Blue Steel field tested if you subscribe to the channel on Twitch. So make sure to enter that. You subscribe to enter. The draw is going to be on Sunday. And other than that, back into the action where Epsilon tried to get something done with these pistols and 4 players on B.
Do you actually have such a knife? Do you have any valuable knife?
Don't have any knife.
Me neither. I used to have one. It was really shitty. But I don't know. I think swords would be a cool addition. But they're a little bit big.
Yeah.
Imagine slaughtering someone with a sword in Counter-Strike. Yeah,
there's a lot of options. You could get like a nice axe or something.
Yeah, an axe would also be cool. A plastic knife maybe, like from the cafeteria or something.
Just get like a fork as well, why not?
A fork? So you can eat it up and gain HP. Robin though, he's gaining the frag onto Berlin. PHR finds him in return, but that B side is swamped by players with close range capability. As Surreal gets another, maybe finds Snatchy as well. Oh. Ooh! A nasty tap, and a Zac finishing it off. Surreal did major work right here, doing a lot of damage onto Ego. And just with those pistols, they're making it work. That shouldn't have not been the case.
Surreal even got the dink onto the last opponent there with the CZ. That was beautiful from Surreal. There you go. He's generally like a little bit of a quiet player, but it seems like for sort of maybe 1 or 2 rounds and a half, he can really have a big play. I remember a couple of times he's won a few important clutches for Epsilon. Yeah, I think he's quite a valuable player for them. I think he certainly performs well in his role. And yeah, this entire Epsilon lineup, I think they've surprised me so far with how they've been performing. But even with that round win, they're still not in great shape. Ego still have the full buy. They still have quite a lot of cash. And you can see Epsilon certainly wary of that, taking this round slowly. Ooh, that Molotov somehow spreads to Surreal. He takes a bit of damage early on. But in the meantime, we'll also molly Robin out of position, so that allows him to get down drop. And Ego might be looking for that A-split again.
Oh, he should have been seen right now. Groovy could be flanked from behind. Smooya takes him down. But the destination seems to be set for Ego at that point, as they're waiting in front of the gates of the A site. Without carrying the bomb through, they should be able to kind of where Zac is, as the Molotov flies now in. And this is still a very good setup from Epsilon, because they got the rotations very easily from Robin. They're having the man advantage as well, so that shouldn't be a problem to retake or even to deny that bomb plant. Zac now falling. Furley gets the control. One coming through connector, where Robin finds the frag, as the Axe Singularity player is doing massive work, and the time is also ticking low for AGO. As getting onto the bomb site will be difficult, especially with a Smooya on Overwatch.
Cosmine does spot out PHR. That was an important kill to find. 2-man lead, and it's going to be extended further. Cosmine finding that headshot through the wood to finish off Snatchy. The one advantage for the Poles, again, as we have been pointing out, they still have plenty of cash. They will still have a buy. But this is what Epsilon needed to do, just win a couple of rounds in a row and make sure that this doesn't get completely out of control. They have done that. Now heading into round 11, I'll be interested to see how Smooya plays with this AWP, because so far he's had a little bit of a quiet game. He really hasn't got anywhere near as aggressive as we normally see from him. And it looks like he might not get any action here early on either, because again, Ego look to be leaning towards B.
Nezzer now getting their aggression set. There comes it onto the B side. Cosmine has a good positioning as Surreal finds another onto Tau. 3 versus 5 in just a matter of seconds. They're still not making their feet work wisely. PHR from behind the perfect flanks, and another one, he's securing the triple onto Cosmine as well. As Romanian player falls, it's only down to Zac. The guy from the UK with the Greek origin now needs to find Snatchy first. Gets him. Wrong timing for the pole. Ruby might just caught through the smoke. Not gonna happen, and towards the stone there's a flash. PHR already on the triple, and Zac kinda lost He now has still the kit, he has the smoke, and he still has that especially important M4A4. He's barely gaining ground, going over the side of the dropper, not making it possible. PHR hits him 7-4, and Epsilon's economy is looking still quite good, but kind of mixed.
A little shaky. I think Shaq is going to be forced down to the ump, but other than that, it's at least a decent enough buy. Smooya still has that AWP in play, but again, he didn't get to do much with the AWP that round. He was over on A, he tried to rotate over, however, Ago had already gained too much ground before he got there. And again, that nade goes in towards Rock. Robin continuing to get caught off guard by that, down to half HP early on. And I'm always kind of surprised with Epsilon's setup. It seems like they do just leave Robin all alone in drop. Sometimes he does still try and hold it off, and it's quite difficult for him to do so. But again, Ago trying to come out towards B. Furlan gets the first, and well, he's going to look to see if he can find another. Surreal is also taken down, looking good for Ago.
And now she's taking control of the B site. It seems all working out so fine for AGO. Stack and Smooya are running away from the action. He still tries to find a little bit of a frag there, maybe. No one running in, though. So he's going to stay fragless in that round. And, you know, I think that's a perfect timing to mention something else. Because, you know, opening cases is kind of weird in Counter-Strike. I don't like it too much because I've never gotten anything cool. But there are cool team cases to open. You know, AGO case, Epsilon case, Atex case, if you like the Germans, of course. And that's something you should try out on Farmskins. Am I right? You might be correcting me and say, no, you've been totally lying, but...
You should definitely try it out. I mean, they're the main sponsors of this tournament. They've helped make this happen, so definitely check out Farmskins if you're into that kind of thing. And other than that, I mean, Epsilon, they're going to need all the help they can get right now. Maybe you need to go and open some of their cases, because they've got a bit of a rough buy. I mean, maybe.
Psychologically speaking. Someone invested money into us. Now I gotta be good. The pressure must be big. But I think, I don't know if it's a guy like, for example, Smooya, who even has that kind of pressure, because he's cocky, to say it like that. Also on social media, he's extremely cocky, which can be seen as fun. I think it's banter we have to accept to a certain point. If he feels any pressure, I don't even know. Because his rating is just through the roof. This guy is nuts when we take a look at it specifically. 1.37 rating in the past 3 months. That's an extremely good level. And as he just returned to Epsilon, that's a great start for him. Furlan, though, finds the Romanian talent, Kasmin. And once more, the move is onto the A site. It's not being a problem at all. Zach could try it. He could move out and go over long, maybe like the opponents who are not expecting a player to come from there. But first of all, Ago has already gotten himself that half. The question is, will they even extend to double digits?
Yeah, that was quite an interesting play from Ago. Like, they kind of just stuck as a team, 4 players walking up mid, and Epsilon didn't really have that many players positioned there. I think in the past, Smooya's been watching that positions a fair few times. However, this time around, he isn't there, and PHR will also clean up a couple of exit kills. So Epsilon, even though they could have saved 4 rifles, now are only stuck with 2. Considering what their money looks like, I'm not sure if they will even be able to fully invest. But I mean, we're so late in the half at this point. They may just have to force. It's just a terrible position to be in. They're 9-4 down. I mean, their money's okay, but the force buys certainly wouldn't be that strong. Having said that, Sack and Smooya can drop rifles, so it's probably still going to come through.
And I'm not quite sure what to think about this entire thing on the one hand, because it feels to me always like when you beat a team like Na'Vi, fans and viewers will always going to think, oh, they've beat the Na'Vi super team, simple. All great players there, but I think it sometimes happens that teams have a bad day. I think in total, Na'Vi is not really performing that great recently, so you have to put in consideration into a bigger picture. Epsilon have beaten definitely a top team. If it is that much deciding how much they're going to play in the future, and especially right now against Eagle, that's, I think, a different story. As Furlan now writes this story against Smooya, with a Kasmin pushing through and taking him from behind. It's a 4 versus 4, with a mixed buy and barely any utility on the European site.
Ooh. Take a look at the map, though. Ago again running straight up mid. Sack is letting it happen for the time being, but I think he is aware of this, and now he comes in. 1 kill for and the second. There we go. The bomb is dropped. And Ago going to have to come back from a 2v4. Sack is still in position. They don't take him down. It's a 3rd kill for Sack. And finally, Tao will shut him down. but the damage is already done. A 1v3, at the very least, Tau does have the bomb, so Epsilon may have to split up if they want to keep presence over towards B, but it's certainly still not going to be easy for Tau, and he's just going to take a fight towards mid. Okay, then, maybe there's still a chance for Tau here. 40 seconds, and now a 1v2.
I don't know how to feel about this entirely, because on the one hand, we're having a really, really strong side of AGO. So far, Tau really performing well. Epsilon, from my point of view, it feels like they're a little bit more of a T team. Maybe not statistically, but just by the feels. I mean, also statistically, they're a better terrorist team, and that's what they got to put in work. Right now, it's around number 14 where they need to show us what they can do. As Tau makes a lot of noise, doesn't find him, but it's Robin coming in. And the P250 becomes lethal.
Yeah, that was a little worrying for Epsilon there. They were somewhat split up towards the end, and Robin was stuck with still just a pistol. However, he comes over in time with so much noise being made. Good play from Surreal to just wait for his teammates. And that means that Epsilon do get the full buy for the last round of the half. So this is what they would have been hoping for. They might be able to get back to 6 rounds CT side Cobble, which is certainly playable. Having said that, Smooya is AWPing mid this time around. They have gone for a lot of presence towards mid in the recent rounds. So Smooya, I think, switching it up, trying to hold this position off. And it doesn't look like AGO are going to fully commit to the push just yet. If they do, though, Smooya's got a really strong angle just to get one kill here in towards door. Should be getting it most of the time if he can react quickly enough, but he goes for the wallbang. Timing slightly off there, and AGO will now go for the push out towards A long. Smooya has repositioned, and Zach also gets a double. He's been doing work from danger, and again, he manages to do the damage. Although Tau's going to get a couple of kills back. He is, though, out in the open, and it's another 1v3, this time for Furlan.
And that round felt like it was a little bit AGO not fully concentrated. Cosmin takes him down in the end. And you have seen it, Tau taking a really fast approach towards long. Because he wanted to once suppress the aggression from Smooya, who was now rotating back, do some suppressive fire. That worked partially. But then he was just too much out in the open, didn't consider that, and then the refrag instantly happened. AGO still with a favorable half, as if entirely got a 6-round streak throughout the first one. From now on, it will be just, well, a good CT site they need, and I personally think they are really possible to do so, especially as, well, the CT side is something that's not looking statistically brilliant, like the most of the rounds they're getting on the T site. But on the other hand, defending against a team like this, which is just from the field's structure, but a little bit more puggy, that should be possible for the side of AGO.
Yeah, certainly. I think AGO will probably be the slightly happier of the two teams, but certainly still could go either way. A lot of weight will be on this pistol round, though. So here we go, heading underway. AGO, yeah, they went for 5 sets of Kevlar on the T side. They're going to go for it on CT as well. So no defuse kit to speak of. Robin just going for 1 set of nades. Oftentimes, Robin drops a P250 for Smooya, so I'm not sure if Smooya's just not called for it this time around because he's not having a great game. But nonetheless, it will just be the 1 set of nades for Epsilon and the 5 Glocks to play with as they line up towards drop at the start.
Bears are making the move right now. We're looking at Smooya, just waits for the call. Tau might be the savior of the dropper section. First of all, Furlan might have a duel with Robin. Guy who's the one who's not having armor throws the utility very soon on the B side, except there will be some different destination, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Flashbang number 1, smoke now thrown over, and Zach, he wins that duel against Furlan. Tau with the double though, finding Cosmin as well. Smooya, Zach falls as well. Tau with another onto Surreal. And another one. He secures himself the 4K, and so it's going to be the double digits for AGO. With perfect pistol work here from the Polish man.
Yeah, just an excellent round from Tau. I mean, the players weren't really looking at him. A fair few of them were in the back, but he still had to hit the shots, and he did so, for the most part, with just his first bullet. A lot of accuracy, cleans up the round, and now Epsilon really are down in the dumps. They only have the pistols for this round. 1 flashbang for Zach might work out. They're going to go out towards A long, and Robin doing some damage at long range there. Snatchy down to 43 HP. In the meantime, AGO also have PHR in danger. He will be caught off guard. I'm quite surprised to see him play there, considering he knew he was up against pistols. He gets caught out. So a man advantage for Epsilon. Not the worst start to the round, but they still have to do a fair amount more if they want to get the round win.
It hurts kind of to see it like that. You don't want to, because AJO, though they got themselves first round secured of the second half as well as that economic advantage, they're still falling short against pistols because they're not taking the 100% safe approach to this. We're getting caught off guard to really good pistol players. Smooya might be now the next one. We'll send one in the grave. Not aggressive yet. Zach considers, but they're doing the coordinated push there back onto the B site. Where only Ferlin and Tau are the last two defending pillars. There they come. Ferlin holds himself close, doesn't find it. That is now making it all more problematic. So it's got to be Tau doing the work. He sees one on the side, could over to the right, where Zach stands, finds him not. And that means Snatchy against 4. This round is in favor of Epsilon, except the Farmers player goes nuts, but if we're real about it, that was well done. And there he gets caught off guard, executed, and Robin taking him down. 7-10, 3-round difference, and AGO's economy pretty much in the bin.
Yeah, fairly well played by Epsilon. However, I certainly feel like Ago made some mistakes there. The main thing you don't want to be doing against pistols is obviously just fighting by yourself. And we saw Epsilon be allowed to take so many 1v1 fights there. Especially after Ago lost the first man. You saw there on their B site hold, they just had one player watching plat and one player watching drop, and they weren't really set up to be able to trade off of each other. So that allowed the kills to come in quite easily. Then Epsilon just overwhelmed the site, and now it's Ago's turn to see what they can do with pistols. Epsilon have a little bit of presence out towards A long. Snatchy was holding, but he's now decided to fall back. In the meantime, Cosmine with the AK needs to be a little careful here. He gets the first, does get taken down though, so that's an AK that could be recovered by Ago if they can force Sack back. And it looks like that AK should now be picked up. There is a chance for Tau.
He's even really well equipped for that. Has the full armor. On the other hand, Robin finds the frag, finds a double onto A long, another one to die, and so it's going to be Tau against actually 2 players who are low HP. 1, 2, there we go. And he still has 80 points of health left, so this is far away from impossible. He can achieve that and prevail against Zach and Robin, as one of them is only down to 20 red points. The Swede is in, and now that means one guy can save it all. Seems like only Tau is able to do so. Zach has a good angle. If once the head pops, he finds him. And there's the advantage. 8-10. And once more, it's going to be an eco from the side of AGO. Those Snatchies. No, he's going to say for the AWP. Yeah, at least the P250 he buys. And I have to tell you a story, Håkon. Really quick. A few months back, I've talked to Snatchy and I've asked him, who do you think will join Virtus Pro if one leaves? And he said, Michu. And I said, I'm going to buy you a P250 Muertas stat track if you're right. Whoa. Now take a look what he has in his hands.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
True story, not gonna lie.
And you named it Ha 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 Told You?
He wrote me as a response on Twitter, Ha 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 Told You. This is how I named it in the
nice. Ooh, there you go. Smooya gets the first. The MAC-10 probably shouldn't take this fight, but, well, he does, and he gets the kill. So can't complain, even though he went down very low. Looks like that P250 of Snatchy won't get anything done. And just going to be Furlan left alive. So Epsilon keeping themselves in contention here. And if they win this round without losing any players, that will be very important for their economy. But Furlan sneaks his way forwards for the 1 kill. Shouldn't get too much more, and there we go. Sack takes him down, but surprisingly, look at the Epsilon health there. They could have been in trouble if Ago had a couple more players alive still.
That's very true. And as they're now coming closer to the tie, we have to once more say and mention, well, this map has been picked by Epsilon. It wouldn't be too much of a deal to technically say it if Epsilon is picking up, as it has been their decision. Logically, AGO looked extremely strong during the first half. Now, as we switched over, bit of a weakness I have seen by the Polish players. It's not really down to the critical part yet, but on the other hand, you're losing round after round. Your economy right now is extremely weak. If you're losing this, not only your opponent is down to the tie, also you're not going to be able to buy up, and that's what makes it also problematic, which means this round is kind of crucial, at least for AGO at that point, as Epsilon still have not decided where to go.
Ooh, Smooya connects that shot onto Snatchy. Luckily for him, it was through the wall, so he's only down to 24 HP, and the Orpler is sticking around in towards wood there. That's somewhat surprising, considering how low he is. I don't think he'd be able to really fall back. He'd have to just commit to that angle. I guess he's watching it because PHR needs him to help him out, considering he's holding this angle towards mid. But it might be a better idea for Snatchy to just go a bit further back here, because he can be taken down quite quickly. Either way, 45 seconds left, and Epsilon slowly but surely are inching their way forwards towards this A bomb site. Apart from Sak, who is in towards drop. However, oh, Snatchy's got 2 kills, as has PHR. They completely shut out the push. And well, Ago made that round look surprisingly easy there, considering they were against a buy from Epsilon.
That's very true. And especially what you have to, well, put in consideration there, what you have to think about, well, Tau, PHR, Furling, Groovy, and Snatchy now have also partially, at least, shut down the economy of Epsilon. They're still able to buy up, most of them at least, besides Surreal. As Kia can only get himself that one certain... Okay, taking it back, got himself an AK, probably forgot it back in spawn. But in the end, it still is Epsilon not looking good in the next round in case they're losing this. AGO would not only achieve 12, also be Epsilon pretty much down to the essentials.
Deep smoke from Tau out towards B flat. One thing to mention about Cobblestone is that there's not too many options in terms of CT aggression. One of the few spots you can go for it is out towards Plat if you get the flash well placed, which it wasn't there. It lands in Tau's face. He is going to go for the peek nonetheless. Tau trying to get something done. Now just decides to play in this corner. If he gets mollied out, he would be in trouble, but you can see Epsilon, due to their weak buy, they don't have the full nades. They can't molly him out of position. And Grubby needs to be careful. There's a player up close, but Grubby gets the flick for the spray down. Surreal will be a little disappointed there. He doesn't get the frag. And with 45 seconds left now, Epsilon having second thoughts about this push, but with Sak getting that entry, looks like they are... No, they're still going to go back towards A here. This is interesting from Epsilon.
Yeah, and as the time is becoming a little bit of an issue right now for the side of the European mix, it's only one defense line that is going to be on the A side. It's Snatchy with that AWP, who needs to hit his shots. Now he gave his position away, so it comes down to his play. Finds the first onto Robin, doesn't get the flick, and in the end taken down by Cosmin. It's still only the Romanian left against too many players. He will probably not be able to retrieve the bomb and put it down on the spot, but I might need to hold my horses because he's able to do so. In the last few seconds he does it, puts it down, he has 21 points of health. And Furlan, who wants to push in first, has only 7 points of health, which makes it all now so complicated for him. But the crossfire established, Tau and Furlan take him down. The plan helps the economy of the team of Owen Butterfield, but in the end, 12-9 it will be. It seems like Epsilon, they can't really connect to the great performance they've given us to the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, and even with the plant, Epsilon, I don't think should go for the buy here. I mean, they could get a couple of AKs. However, if you lose this round, you're basically down and out, considering Ago are already 12-9 up. So they agree they are just going to go for the pistols. Very little investment, actually, from Epsilon. So they are trying to make sure they have as good a buy as possible. Having said that, that means that this round they will have to sacrifice. Yeah, we'll try and go towards A, but Snatchy, very quick on the trigger, gets the first with the AWP. Tau also has an AWP out towards B flat, but he's not going to get action because Snatchy gets all 3 kills out towards A long. Looks back to mid. Is this
what is going on?
Yes, it is. Snatchy doesn't take a single point of damage for the ace there. Beautiful stuff.
As he's getting the ace is the perfect question for the round we're having. As you are from the UK, Hawka, how is UK matchmaking mentality, actually?
How is UK matchmaking what?
Mentality. Behavior.
I mean, most people are pretty toxic, I'm going to be honest. I don't normally play with UK people, to be honest. Okay. Try and get away from them.
You're trying to Brexit exit. No, UK, I mean, kind of. I guess the chat does so many Brexit jokes right now about the UK entirely. But as we're in Counter-Strike and not into political stuff, it's PHR, first of all. Maybe becoming very, very explosive with that nade right now. Dropped into middle. He tries to find Samir doing the refrag as he gets one. Snatch, he gets caught in from behind. 2 points of health, and he still avoids the shots that are coming in from Robin. 2 points of health with the shot, and that makes it all so dangerous right now for the Polish Opera, who's retreating back onto the A side. Gets that height advantage, but he's not looking good with the health.
Ooh, Snatchy holding mid, does get another frag. TSAC finally finds the trade, but Tau is also in position. And that means Robin, with just the UMP, needs this kill. And, well, Tau peeks in towards him a little unnecessarily. Brings it back to a 1-on-2, but for the time being, Grubby is the only one near the A site, so he's going to have to wait for Furlan on the flank. However, it looks like Furlan may catch him in the back.
There you go.
So, yeah, timing not going well for Robin. So, Ago up 14-9. And Epsilon now, they are in trouble. Again, remember, this was their map pick. They would have been confident heading into Cobblestone. And despite being 14-9 down, they're not going to go for the force buy here. They are willing to either try and win this round or play for overtime if they can't win with this limited buy.
Yeah, and the list on the defeated teams of Cobblestone for Epsilon is extremely good. You can see there's Mouse Sports, there's QBF, there's Sprout, there's Navi. Those teams are usually not that great here. On the other hand, Ago is a different kind of caliber. Finding now the double PHR gets tracked by Surreal. As ZZ and the Pistols General trying to make the work done. It's Ferlin holding it together with his teammate Snatchy. He's falling, their spray's not on point. That means Snatchy got to do it pretty much on his own. Tags the one, rubbing down to 14. As it is Groovy doing the work, the op finally finds it. Sack down in the mud. This is the last buy coming in for Epsilon in case this is not going any further.
Yep, here we go. It's now or never for Epsilon. They are going to go for pretty much full utility as well, so they aren't in awful shape. Said that, 4 players grouping up around B. We haven't seen Epsilon go for too many quick plays so far. However, Smoothia is trying to get aggressive out towards B flags. The nades, I think, have denied him, though. He's not going to go for too much aggression early on. For what it's worth, Ago sticking with the double orbs. Tau is currently towards the B site with one of those. And Epsilon are also still grouped around flat here. It looks like the push may come in. Tau was blinded up. The orb does get the first kill. There's no molly for him here. He's going to stay in towards Coop. PHR also rotates. It's a 4v2 now. Zack does damage to the man in Coop, but Cosme just called GG in the chat already. It's not over yet, though, because Zack going to get another kill, but Tau up close. This is so awkward. The P250 comes out. Is he going to get the kill? Zack is still waiting patiently. He might get this frag indeed. Back to a 2-on-1. It's only Snatchy left with the AWP out towards Plat. They might not expect him to be here, but TSAC is holding this angle. The flick comes in. And, well, Epsilon aren't out just yet.
That looked so promising for AGL, but the smokes made it impossible for the Polish players to now make it back onto the site, as everyone was somehow split up. And, you know, one by one, you find every single one holding them. There goes Epsilon, picking up the 10th, going into double digits right now, and it is just AGO not interested in getting a little bit waffling. You don't want to become shaky right now when you're just so close to victory. But the pistols logically barely allows anything. Smooya lacks Tau at least. But it should be just now going in favor for Epsilon. At least that when the nade comes in, and the Greek basketball player, Zack, hits onto Tau, Ruby as well. 3 versus 5. And Epsilon should have an easy one with this.
Unless Furlan can make the difference. He does get the one kill. I mean, the rotate is still very, very far away. So Furlan will eventually fall. Yeah, nothing else he can do there. The big flank is coming in, but it's very, very long away. And, well, actually, Snatchy and PHR are still walking. So they're not really going to be in position. And there we go. Epsilon managed to get themselves another round together. I mean, they're still going to have to play for overtime, which isn't great. Having said that, their money also isn't all that perfect, so they're going to want to save as many guns as possible, but Snatchy catches Robin out there. That could be somewhat worrying for Epsilon. I mean, they should still have enough for a pretty good buy. Shouldn't be a massive issue, but they won't want to lose any more. What? Why?
What? It was like a present from the UK. Here, Polish players have a gun. What is the logical sense behind that? Hey, I want to give my opponent a chance. Better give him a gun. UKCS, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, where gentle behavior is being rewarded with toxic tweets.
Hey, we're probably going to get it anyway. But there you go.
I wouldn't say that. He had a good Overwatch there.
Yeah, I think he probably just shot it because he was about to run away anyway, I guess. I don't know.
It doesn't make 100% sense, but we're dealing with it. The AK now at the PHR is a good present given to you by Epsilon. And so they're now going to put that in use. PHR with that AK going a little bit aggressive towards A long, together with his teammate, while we see the action focuses over. So far onto B. As you're standing in a trophy room, the aggression is now down into dropper. Surreal moved out, and he's going to the window close, where Groovy is the only one to rip off some head, not making it work yet. There comes Ferno with 12 HP left. Cosmin down, 1 minute is left for Epsilon to make that aggression work.
And it looks like they are going to come out through B flat. Tao is here with the AWP. He could be caught in the open. He is just about going to get back to 2. Somehow that doesn't get the kill, but Robin eventually falls. Smooya, though, is holding patiently, waiting for the peak, and that is going to allow him the eventual trade. And in the meantime, Surreal down drop has also found a frag. It's all going wrong here for Ago. 1 by 1, they're going down, and Sack does find that trade. So Snatchy has to clutch a 1-on-2. He's going to miss that first shot. That's a kill he needed. The bomb is still down on the site, but that means that Epsilon are now grouped up, so they can try and push together. Having said that, they're going to try the boost here. Surreal up, gets caught off. T-Sack needs it, and he does find it. Epsilon just about stay alive, but that did not look convincing. This is still incredibly close.
Oh, that's so unfortunate to see. And there we had once more. This was the repetition of the round where Epsilon got themselves into the double digits. They were actually having the man advantage, but then they got shut down because there was a good split on the side. I mean, they're splitting up the side in different kind of sections, and this is exactly what Epsilon has done there, and that in a really, really good fashion. This now brings it down to a tricky situation where the pistol is the only one. Cosmin down to 4 points of health. Not perfect starting conditions. As now Tao, he only gets caught off guard with the spray, still stays up on the box. And this just means in 1 minute 30, Alex, we might just see the pistols working it out, as AGO can pretty much do quite good work with the tiny sidearms.
Especially as they have a fair few close-range positions that will be quite difficult to, well, I was going to say difficult to make sure they're not in trouble, but there we go. Surreal gets the first spray down. He shouldn't really overcommit. The flank is coming in, but Surreal up close and personal. The AK still gets the job done. Sachi does spot a couple of players coming his way. They are going to push through mid, and that's where Ago have the stack lined up with 3 players.
Oh, no.
What? 2 kills come through. It's back to a 2-on-3. The bomb is also down, but PHR is so low on health. The push comes in. Oh my goodness. Smooya pulls out the pistol, and Robin is going to get the final kill. Again, though, surprisingly close for Ago, and now they have a bye.
So I just wanted to say, did I miss something out? Did my brain lag, or is this the first tactical timeout we're having? It is, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's kind of sad that AGO didn't took that earlier, and B, wait, is it a Robin? Did Epsilon? Oh yeah, Epsilon did it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I should stop calling things maybe. But in the end, good decision to do so. AGO also now having the time to talk about it. And you know, AGO is a team that has recently gotten themselves their contracts expanded to 2020. That's the first thing. They've not only got themselves the classic coach, they've also got themselves now a performance coach and a development coach. Makop as well as Krepsky, who recently joined in 2018. So the roster really wants to go for the future, and I think that is the right way to do it, to have different kind of sections. Big has done it for the major. They've gotten themselves also a second coach. It didn't work out in the end, and the Germans are now switching everything regarding their roster. And I can tell you right now it's going to be very interesting, but enough said with that. It's very important that those coach roles are being separated right now, because one coach does everything is kind of hard, and then in the end, the idea is right about AGO, but right now, that experience from the coach has to be used wisely. And Snatchy, before this game, I talked to him and he said, "I'm going to win every duel against Smooya." He said that in the he was sarcastic. He knows that Smooya is a good player, but in the end, so far it looked good for a few rounds, and now they're starting to get shaky.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it. I mean, the last few rounds have been close though. Epsilon haven't exactly comfortably got to this point, but they are still alive and kicking. Round 29 about to come into play, and it is worth pointing out, if Ago lose this one, their bye into round 30 won't be all that great. They won't have the full bye for sure. So this is the best chance now for Ago to close it out. They're going to look for that 16-13 scoreline as we head underway into what could be the last round of this first map. Or we could keep on going, depending on if Epsilon can get the win. Back again, over towards Drop, going to go for some presents. Oh, he nearly gets caught off guard there. I'm surprised he's going so aggressive. In the meantime, Snatchy in towards mid. Doesn't spot Smooya, who jumps over, but there we go. Snatchy does win that opening duel against Smooya this time around.
And that was a perfect trigger control. As Smooya was jumping over, he didn't even intend to then pull and squeeze it yet. And the advantage now has to be used by AGO, as 60 seconds are there for Epsilon to use it. Time certainly running out. They still got a good dash to play with, but on the other hand, the focus on mid doesn't allow him to have any B control. He could rotate back in the right point of time, but Cosmin and the rest of the team are not interested. There comes the lag shot. And as we're seeing Snatchy hiding himself behind the smoke, going for maybe that. Sek goes aggressive, could find Tao as well, rips his head off, and we might just go into the next one. But Snatchy from behind, he's the secret agent to hold off the bomb. And that just now not only needs to stack, and he does it. 16-13, Epsilon with a good try to get back into the game, but they didn't make it possible. And with that, Hawk and I are going to take a break.